this one's for the geriatrics.
Both of them just don't have the quality or even the, it's going to sound harsh, the football intelligence.
3 amazing guests coming up in November, mate.
This is the Reds Down Under podcast, the best place to follow the Reds in Australia. Enjoy the show.
We are the Reds Down Under, and this is our podcast.
Hello and welcome to Reds Down Under, your weekly fan Liverpool podcast here in Australia. This is the weekly show. We're here every week on a Tuesday. Unfortunately, we will have to talk about Liverpool getting beat by Manchester United today. But my guest is a good friend of ours. He is also an assistant producer on the podcast. He helps me with all sorts of stuff. It's Wayne from the L Files. How are you, mate?
G'day, Tom. How are you? Apart from the aforementioned game, I'm pretty good. Pretty good. Tired, but good.
Yeah, I'm absolutely knackered. I'm absolutely knackered.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same, like a train wreck. So...
Yeah, the result doesn't help, does it? But we will get into that today. It's a busy one today. We have got that Manchester United result. Really disappointing, of course, but we'll break it down. Wayne has got some questions for us. He's got some questions that he hasn't briefed me on, so I don't know what they are. But it's a bit of a getting to know you sort of thing, Wayne, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've got some juicy questions.
Yeah,
put you right on the spot.
Yeah. Then, as ever, we've got Reds Trivia, or as Jack likes to call it, Take It to the Max. We'll be looking ahead. We did talk about it last week, but I've got a couple of specific questions for Wayne about the Frankfurt game in the Champions League. And then, of course, we'll be looking ahead to Brentford, who will be playing next weekend in the Premier League. Thank you to LFV Ventures, production partner, helped us get set up. Absolute legends. We put their link in the show notes, so check them out. And if you've got any video and animation needs, talk to Redboat. They're awesome. Thanks to Cheers Bar as well. I was hoping to go to Cheers Bar in Sydney yesterday for the game, but by the time everything started happening yesterday evening, it started to get to like 10 o'clock, and I was like, there's no way I can have a sleep and then get to Cheers Bar and get up for work. It just weren't going to happen, so I didn't end up going. I watched it on my own, on the couch, absolutely depressed. So thank you to Cheers Bar, because we're plastered everywhere around Cheers Bar. So thank you to them. We have got a Jamie Carragher signed shirt, 2005 Istanbul shirt. Jamie signed 2 of them for us. We're keeping one and we're giving one to you. So keep your eye out for that. Coming very, very soon. And Wayne, we've got confirmed 3 amazing guests coming up in November, mate. Yeah.
We're not gonna tell you who, but they're gonna blow your mind, and they've blown our mind already. So yeah, super exciting. So spread the news, everyone. All right.
Yeah. Yeah,
keep
your eyes peeled.
Yes.
Keep your eyes peeled for that. So thank you to everyone who's helped us get those guests over the line. You're amazing. Before we jump into that Man United game, mate, you've, I mean, as I said at the start there, you're assistant podcast on the producer. You're helping me with all sorts of stuff behind the scenes, trying to move this podcast along one step at a time. But you also run your own website. Can you tell us about that, mate?
Certainly can. So I run Australia's, I guess, longest running LFC portal. I guess that's the best way to describe it. The L Files, or Liverpool Australia, as you might also know it as. So it's been around since 1998. So what's that? 27 years now, which is just, 27? Yeah, crazy when I think about it. But yeah, look, it's had a new lick of paint in recent months. We promote, obviously, the podcast on there as well, but there's also the latest news from around all the best sources, that you would expect from Liverpool news. We don't do the garbage ones. You can get merch on there as well, straight from the club. But there's also some good local stories, and for all your information on all the local supporter groups, it's a one-stop shop as well. So thanks for the plug, and proud partner of this podcast. So yeah, give us a visit, give us a follow on Twitter if you're on there. It's LFC_Australia. Give the podcast a follow on Twitter as well, actually, because they're on there now as well. So yeah, thanks, Tom. Over to you, mate.
Yeah, no dramas. He gives us $5,000 a month to do that, so it was worth doing.
I'm a bit behind. So just trying to get the money.
Yeah, you owe me about 25 grand at this point.
That's right.
Enough of the pleasantries. Let's get into it, because Liverpool played Manchester United last night in the Premier League. Liverpool had 3 successive defeats in all competitions, 2 in the Premier League and 1 in the Champions League. Obviously, we lost the game 2-1. Wayne, what's your first feeling about the game?
Oh, look, the biggest thing, obviously, they're our biggest rival, so it's always crap to lose to them. And I mean, I know we lost in the FA Cup. I think it was it last year? And that sucked. But it was just the cup. No, sorry, not last season. That was the season before, when Klopp was still in charge. It was, disappointing, then. But I guess to lose against this side at home, with the quality that we have, it's embarrassing, and it's gut wrenching, actually. And I think it's the manner in which we lost. It's almost been the script for the past few weeks. We go behind, we put in a lot of effort, not necessarily scintillating football, but we put in a lot of effort, get level, and then to concede such a rubbish goal. And of all people, Maguire. It sucks. There's no other way to put it. I was furious. I really was. I was really angry. And as you know, try and go to sleep after seeing that when your blood's boiling. Almost mission impossible. So, very, very disappointing. There's so much more I could say, but we'll come back to that. What about you, Tom? How did you feel straight after? I mean, if you could sum it up in one thing, what's your initial thoughts?
Yeah, I didn't feel great. To be honest, I was watching the game there, and when we got the equaliser, it was funny, really, because normally my attitude is we'll go and do these, and it wasn't. We got the equaliser, and I went, okay, it's a point, take the point. And that's really against basically anything I stand for as a fan.
Yes.
But it was so how I felt about it. I was happy to take a draw in that circumstance. I got back into bed, and my Mrs. Chelsea said, I've been awake since you got up. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah, because I kept hearing you banging the table in the living room. So I kept her up as well. I think there's a lot to point out. I mean, let's start with a couple of the negatives there, Wayne. Isak missed a really good chance that I would expect a top number 9 to put in the back of the net. He hit it pretty much straight at the goalkeeper. And to be honest, anywhere to the goalkeeper's right is probably a goal.
Correct.
Mo Salah was well off the boil, and he missed the chance at the far post. I mean, it was a bouncing ball and everything, but Mo's really struggling. Wayne, I've heard lots of people talking about this on social media. I mean, you're on Twitter all the time. So we see a lot of what fans think on social media. And I know it's not always a great gauge, but people are starting to talk about dropping Mo Salah. Is that something that's even entered your brain?
Yes, it has. I've actually even seen a lot more said about Mo that, they feel it's justified now why his extended contract was so short, because they feel he's fallen off a cliff. I think there's a lot of things to take into, I guess, consideration just before we go on about this, that, let's talk about, he did lose one of his very good friends, and I think a lot of people at that club did with the tragedy around, Diego. And I don't think we can easily just dismiss that outright. I'm not saying that is playing a factor, but there's a very good chance it could be. And playing with grief can do all kinds of things, just even trying to be professional at work when you're dealing with grief. But having said that, yeah, Mo's looked off the boil. But the thing for me though, that what was interesting is that midweek playing for Egypt, he was brilliant. Scored a goal and then helped them qualify by all accounts. Some of the other players were similar as well. But yeah, look, the noise on Twitter is that he should definitely be dropped. I think he does need a spell on the bench, and I think he's that type of professional that he just wants to excel. And you spoke about that miss at the far post, near the end of the game, and Wirtz was free just to his left. All he needed to do was pass to him. Wirtz had a virtual tap in. But then again, Mo's always kind of been a little bit like that, and I guess I can understand why he wanted to take the shot. But yeah, it's sad to see. And I guess, we love the guy to pieces for what he's done, but you have to start to think, well, he is 34 and things can diminish pretty quickly at that age. So is this the new norm? I don't think so. I think I think there's a lot of weight on his shoulders, probably emotionally, and maybe just trying to perform. And it's not just him, but he obviously is a linchpin for that front, attack. But let's also be honest too, that whole setup and team, which is another discussion, especially in attack, is completely revamped. So for me, I think midweek in Europe, yeah, I'd start him from the bench, definitely.
Yeah, I think
back to you.
That's all right. Yeah, I got the sense it was my
back
turn.
to you, Tom.
Back to me in the studio. Yeah, look, I think I think there's room for manoeuvre in the Champions League. I think we could qualify no dramas from the Champions League stage. So I think it will be an opportunity to take a couple of lads out and to go away to Frankfurt and give Chiesa some more minutes, maybe give young Rio some more minutes.
Yes.
Play Ekatike in from the start. But for me, Mo Salah, there's no way in a month of Sundays that I would take Mo Salah out the starting lineup. Like, I think his qualities is he's got so much quality that all he needs is a little bit, a couple of goals, a little bit of form, 3 games on the bounce, he gets a goal and an assist and a goal or whatever it is. Because the thing for sure is that if Liverpool manage to get their shit together and we go into the end of the season come May, June, he's going to be your man, or one of your men who you're going to hope is going to have big moments and a big say in those games. So
Correct.
I'm not writing Mo Salah off.
Oh no, not at all.
No. But I think maybe give him a game out in Germany. One thing stood out to me, Wayne, is an abundant lack of quality in fullback, and I'm not even necessarily talking from a defensive perspective. I thought Bradley was fairly solid. I thought that Kirkers actually did a pretty decent job against Ahmad, who's a handful anyway for any fullback. Conor Bradley's delivery in the final third is not there.
Yep.
It's not there. A lot of his crosses... He won a lot of corners against Manchester United. I don't know what the stats are, but it was probably 4 corners.
Yes.
But none of the deliveries ever looked like they were going to be a threat anyway. It always hit the first man. I think that's a real concern for Liverpool. And I know that in the past we had Trent, and Trent was always able to deliver excellent quality. We've got Frimpong there who came on and actually he looked like a real threat on the right wing.
Yes.
But that's a concern for me with Conor Bradley. Kirkers, he seems to give a lot of straight passes away. The lad. I don't think it's a problem with his quality per se, but I think he's really struggling for confidence.
I agree.
I think maybe it'd be interesting to see whether the manager looks at it and goes, "No, you know what? I'm going to take him out the team." No matter what for the next 3-4 games. Whether it's Andy Robertson who plays there or it's Joe Gomez who plays there.
Yes.
But I think he needs bringing out. He needs protecting this lad because
yes.
it's quickly looking like it's becoming a little bit of a nightmare for Kirkers at left back, mate.
I agree, and I mean I don't want to pile on the guy, but yeah, I've seen people online compare him to Moreno. You remember him, Alberto? A bit of a headless chicken, but the thing is, as I said to him, he was brilliant last season at Bournemouth. But he played a very different game. He would latch onto passes and just bomb forward. And so he was always having that ball played in front of him. He's having to build up from the back. And I think it's like you said, he's trying. I think he's trying too hard. And I think he's just under a lot of pressure. Personally, for me, I would put Robbo back in. I just think, Robbo's obviously not the player he once was, but he's vice captain and he's got good leadership. And I think you'll probably get more out of him in some respects. Bradley, I mean, I think we all maybe had a bit of, rose-tinted glasses on last season when he, tackled Mbappe, which was great, and he had some great games, but saying we'll be fine, I think all of us were a little bit naive, maybe thinking that we'll be fine without him, with Trent going and having Bradley, because the difference in passing quality is day and night. And that's not me having a go at Bradley, because most people aren't as good as Trent anyway from that. So we don't have that out from the back, which Trent was able to do. We see it trying to build up on that right side with Kanate and Bradley, and both of them just don't have the quality or even it's going to sound harsh, the football intelligence. Kanate always looks nervous to me on the ball and doesn't know what to do with it. Bradley's got the energy and the enthusiasm, and obviously he's the scouser in the team, and he's got that bit between his teeth. But yeah, the crossing was not great. But in saying that, I do remember last season he was good. He could do that job, not like Trent quality, but he can do a job. So I think, like you said, we're struggling at fullback. And I think that's at both sides. And I don't know if it's necessarily down to pure quality in the players or lack of confidence. I suspect it's also the system. I have suspected that a while for a few of the players, because, as I said, good players don't go bad overnight. Not like that. And, Kirkus also midweek, in Europe, in the internationals, had a good game for Hungary, although in the one against Portugal, he was criticised a bit. But, like you said, I'm not saying they were garbage. I don't think they were garbage. I think they were solid. But, yeah, the final ball and the delivery, we were spoilt with Trent and Robertson in their prime, right? When they were in their prime under Klopp, the best two fullbacks in the world, and we had them in our team, and so we were getting ridiculous amounts of assists from them. So we've lost that in a lot of respects. And Robbo, as I said, isn't the player he used to be, but I would probably start Robbo at left back. I think that's going to happen against Frankfurt, jumping the gun a bit. At right back, I would probably say, Frimpong maybe comes in. But even so, even he struggled in that position. He seems far more better when he's more advanced up the field as an attacking threat rather than a defensive threat. So, yeah, problems there. And, I think it was... I'm trying to remember who said it. One of the Manchester United players. He said, we knew Liverpool had problems. And, they had weak spots, and that was their fullbacks. And so they targeted us down there. So... Lots of work, to do there for Klopp. Wake up! That's what happens when you start 4 a.m.
Get him back!
No, that ship is sailed. For slots, that I say. So it's a tough one. And I said I don't think, I'm not ready to throw either of them in the bin. It's way too early for that. I think it's just there's a lot of factors contributing to that. A lot of factors.
Yeah, it's a puzzle, isn't it, that the gaffer's got to work out, and he's got to work it out quick. What I would say is, we were talking to Jack, my brother, to new listeners. Jack normally comes and sits with me. We were talking about it earlier in our chat, and Jack said, be tough on them, but don't be too tough, he said. And so what I will say is that we got beat, but we should have won that game.
Yeah.
you know, we played Crystal Palace. It was in no way a game we should have won. If we would have got a point at Selhurst Park, it would have been a great point in the end. But that game last night, the disappointing thing for me, Wayne, was that we had the chances. I think we hit the post 3 times.
Yes.
Isak should have scored for sure. Salah should have scored for sure.
Cody could have had a hat trick. Gakpo.
Yeah. Cody could have. I mean, Cody's header there late on.
That's right.
I mean, 9 times out of 10 he scores that. So look, disappointing result, but a game that actually there was little sprouts of things there. We could have won the game 5-2.
Yeah.
And no one could have knocked us for it. So, let's not be too disheartened, Reds. We can't be, can we, anyway? Like, we're addicted to Liverpool Football Club, so there's no point in being a bad addiction.
That's right.
Wayne, let's move on then, mate.
Yep.
We got a message this week, and I'll be honest with you, it nearly knocked me off my chair. So I'm not going to say who sent this message in.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm intrigued now.
Yeah, Wayne doesn't know about this. I won't read all of the message either because it'll be clear. I'm sure the person wouldn't mind me reading it out, but I won't embarrass them. But he said, "Gentlemen," he said, "I love the pod and it's like listening to mates banter with honest feels." He said, "It reminds me that even though I live in a small town away from home, or away from close mates, that I'm a bigger part of a bigger Liverpool family." And I absolutely ruined that message, but it was a lovely message.
That's nice.
That's the point of why we do it.
That's right.
Because that's how we feel.
That's right.
So to get a message like that, it was nice because that's why we do it. We don't give a shit about ratings and stuff like that, how many views we get. We never talk about that really, and we only ever talk about are we doing what we said we wanted to do. So
that's right.
Thanks for that message. And
thanks, Dad.
Yeah, Stevie G. Thanks, Stevie. No dramas. Should have took the Rangers job. Right, let's move on to Reds trivia. Wayne, have you got a pen and paper or whatever you'd like to do?
Yes, I've got a pencil and I've got paper.
Get out your notepads, Reds. We're about to play Reds trivia, written by me.
Now, how many questions? We're going to get 5 again? Is it 5?
5 questions.
Because last time I did this, I got 3, so I'm going to try and beat that.
Okay. 3 or 4 is pretty good, I think. It's not too bad. So we'll do Reds trivia, and then we'll move on and talk about Frankfurt and Brentford.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for questions?
Manchester United. Sorry, just writing something down.
We're not talking about them anymore. Right. Question number 1. Which goalkeeper did Liverpool sign from Coventry City in 2001? Which goalkeeper did Liverpool sign from Coventry City in 2001? This goalkeeper actually is one of my absolute idols.
Okay, you gave me a big clue then because it was a toss-up between that person and another one. Okay.
Yeah. To give you like a little clue.
Peggy, what's his name?
Peggy Affexet. We signed 2 goalkeepers on the same day.
That's right.
And I want to know one of them. Right, as part of the Michael Owen deal, Liverpool signed what player from Real Madrid? So I think it was £8 million and another player. Who was the player we got from Real Madrid?
I'm pretty sure that was his name. I can picture him, but I'm pretty sure I've got him. Yep.
Yeah. Number 3, which Italian scored the 4th goal in the 4-0 win against Real Madrid in the 2008-2009 season? Wayne was writing that before I even finished.
He scored another great goal at Old Trafford a few days later.
Hey! Oh, don't give too much away, you.
Sorry.
Look, this is take it to the max. This is the best Liverpool trivia in the world, and you're trying to ruin it with extra clues. Yeah, he scored at Old Trafford.
We haven't had many Italians play for us, actually.
No, we haven't.
And to be honest, most of them haven't really worked out, have they?
No. But we have got a kid on the bench at the minute who's absolutely smashing it every time he plays, but he can't get a game. Number 4, which club? This is tough, this one. Now, I will say this. I reckon there's a handful of people who might get this. Me dad might get it. You might get it. Jed from Queensland Supporters Club. Shout out to Jed. He might get it.
What you're saying is for the older types.
Yeah. Yeah. This one's for the geriatrics.
All right.
Right. Get your pens, your pencils, and your Zimmer frames out.
All right, young
Question
man.
number 4. I love yous all. Which club did Bill Shankly manage directly before Liverpool? Now, when I went to write this question, I wrote a different team. I was convinced of it.
I'm pretty sure.
And then I Googled it. And
I'm pretty sure I've got this one. I'm pretty sure I've got this one right. Oh, was that? Right. No, hang on. Was that? No, I'm sticking with that.
Go with your gut.
Yeah.
And number 5, what year did Liverpool win their 3rd and last UEFA Cup / Europa League? What year did Liverpool win their 3rd and last UEFA Cup / Europa League?
That's a trick. Oh, no, we lost it that year. So you said UEFA and Europa. Okay. Yeah, it's got to be.
You happy?
Yes, I'm happy. Yeah, actually, that's right. It's got to be that. Okay, I think I've got 5 out of 5.
Do you reckon?
I think so. Number 4 was a doozy. That's hard.
Yeah.
But I think I got that right.
All right. Question number 1. Which goalkeeper did Liverpool sign from Coventry City in 2001?
Chris Kirkland.
Chris Kirkland. A goalkeeper who wore a cap. You don't get many goalkeepers who wear caps these days.
That's right.
Big Chris wore a cap, yeah. Legend. Question number 2. As part of the Michael Owen deal, Liverpool signed what player from Real Madrid?
Was his name Antonio Nunes?
It was Antonio Nunes.
Yes.
Scored in the League Cup final in 2005.
That's right. The one we lost 3-1? No.
3.
Yeah, we lost
3-1
to Manchester City, I think. Yeah. It was
Chelsea.
Yes.
It was when Mourinho did the shush on the touchline.
Yep. Okay.
Question number 3. Which Italian scored the 4th goal in the 4-0 win against Real Madrid in 08-09?
Andreas Dossena.
Yeah, it was Dossena. Number 4. Which club did Bill Shankly manage directly before Liverpool?
Was it Huddersfield?
It was Huddersfield Town. Yes. Well done. Very impressed. Because I would have said Preston.
Yeah. He played for Preston, didn't he? I thought he played, but I'm pretty sure. No, that's where I get confused. Okay.
I don't know because they've got the Bill Shankly cop there. I think a deep Dale. And number 5, what year did Liverpool win their 3rd and last UEFA Cup / Europa League?
That would have been the treble year in 2001?
Absolutely correct. We won it in Dortmund against Alaves 5-4. Gary Mack.
5 out of 5.
Well done.
Ugh, that was good.
Tell you what. Well done, Wayne. That's great, that.
Man,
I wonder how many people got at home. Do let us know.
Yes.
Now, we spoke about this a little bit last week on the podcast. Liverpool play Frankfurt in the Champions League. Now, in terms of the game itself, Wayne, or the jeopardy on the game, I think the jeopardy of the game in terms of success in the competition is low. I don't think we have to win the game to qualify from the group. No. But we cannot go 5 games on the bounce defeat, can we?
No, we can't. Coming back to the first point, I think, last year we learnt the hard way that you can finish top of this table in qualifying and still get a hard, draw in the next round. So as Slot said, as long as you finish, is it the first 8? No, is it 16? I can't remember. As long as you finish within that top tier of that table, that should be our aim. So, we still don't want to lose, and I think we're good enough to win in Frankfurt. I think there's the quality there. They've had a bit of a, I guess, kind of topsy-turvy start to their season as well. They got hammered by Atletico in 5-1 in that other game, and then they did the same reverse basically against Galatasaray with a 5-1 win. I think they drew on the weekend in the Bundesliga. Look, they're a good side, and I think they'll probably fancy themselves against us, especially in the state we're in. But Europe's different in the sense that there's not that frenetic pace and zero time on the ball that you get in the Premier League. And so yeah, I think we need to go there, and obviously we want to go there and try and win. But I mean, look, if we get a draw, it's not a disaster. Not a disaster at all. I'm just hoping for a really good, more solid performance overall. But yeah, Frankfurt are a good team. They've got some good players. But I think, we're probably going to see, quite a few different players come in for us. I said, a bit more rotation, hopefully. Your thoughts on that one, Tom?
This is a Reds Down Under announcement for all supporters. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on TikTok, Facebook and Instagram, give us a review on Spotify, Apple and Amazon. Thank you. Yeah, look, I think in a normal circumstance, if we were on good form and we got beat, I wouldn't be too worried about it at all, to be honest with you. I think a lot of the jeopardy of qualification through that league is, in the Champions League you can lose games. If you lose a game in the Premier League, it's like a disaster, isn't it? Every time you lose in the Premier League, if you're going for the title, it's a disaster. I think in the Champions League it's not, but we cannot allow ourselves to go 5 games without a win.
No.
Because that'll be the next stat. It'll be 4 games on the bounce defeats. Then it'll be 5 without a win. And it just goes on and on like that.
Correct.
And I think we've got Brentford after that as well, which is a tough one.
Yes.
But I do think Arnie should look at it and go, right, who are the boys who are desperate for minutes here? Joey Gomez is desperate for minutes. Robbo will be desperate for minutes.
Yes.
Chiesa's desperate for minutes. Curtis Jones is desperate for minutes.
Correct.
So there's players in there for sure. Ekatike.
Yes.
Who really do need a good run out. And look, the result will be what it is, but we need a really good performance there in Frankfurt.
I'll be curious to see who he starts in midfield, because I'm pretty sure I read today that Gravenberch, had that pretty nasty injury during the game and he's twisted his ankle. So I suspect at best he's on the bench. He might even miss the game. I'm not sure to what extent that injury was, but I think he'll probably persist with Maka again, who looked lost. I mean, obviously he got a big whack in the head and some stitches at the beginning of the game. That's one thing we didn't talk about, by the way, that first goal. But anyway, should never have happened in that game. But Jones was lively when he came on, and so like you said, though, I think we're going to see quite a few changes. I'd like to see us keep a clean sheet also, or at least put in a really good defensive performance, because that's really been a big Achilles heel for us. And it breeds, I know scoring goals and winning games breeds confidence, but keeping clean sheets also breeds lots of confidence as well. And I'd love to see Joey Gomez get out there. I think it's also good that he does that, because I think we've only got 3 fit centre-backs, and, I think Kanato, even Verge, Verge is not a spring chicken and can't play 90 minutes every single, week, especially with 3 games in a week. But I think, like you said, up front, we'll probably see Ekatike start. Probably see Chiesa start as well. Not sure who else might be in that equation. So, be interesting. I mean, surely he wouldn't start young Rio from the get-go, but who knows? Who knows? He might want to start Isak again, just get him match fit. And I think that's probably a big thing with Isak, is that he just needs his match fitness to come back. But like you said, to not win 5 games in a row, that just piles that much more pressure on us. And even though, as I said before, a draw is not a disaster, I think mentally, a win would do us a world of good. It just, like you said, it breeds confidence. And, you wipe the slate clean and you start again and say, great, we've got a win. Let's just use this as a springboard now.
Yeah, and it might even be an opportunity to say, we're going to start Ekatike. We're going to give him 60, but no matter the score, he's coming off. Yeah. He's having 60 minutes. He's getting more minutes in his legs, and we're going to give Isak another 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Because he's at, I mean, look, he's only played a couple of games, but he scored against Southampton in the League Cup, but he could, he could do with a goal, couldn't he, as well?
Exactly.
All right, quick prediction, mate.
Wow. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for us.
2-1.
Scorers?
Yeah, go on. Give us the scorers.
I think Hugo and Gakpo will be our scorers.
Hugo and Gakpo. I can't remember what I went for last week. But I'm gonna say 1-1. I'm gonna be really boring. I'm gonna say 1-1, but a good performance, minutes in the legs for the squad, and a little bit of a positive feeling going into Brentford next weekend, which is a tough game. Right, yes. Before we get to Brentford, mate, you've got a couple of questions there that you wanted to ask me. It's a little bit of a getting to know Tom part of the show. So let's hear it, mate. What have you got?
So, everyone, welcome to Getting to Know Tom Moore. Okay, so my first question for you, Tom, is how old were you when you lost your virginity? No, sorry, that's the wrong question. That's the wrong question.
I haven't got an answer for you.
That's the different podcast we do late at night when no one's listening. All right, so as we all know, or some of you might not know, Tom obviously is Liverpool born and bred, moved to Australia. But I guess I want to know, I mean, how old are you now? Whoa, maybe that's a question we shouldn't really. But what is your first, I guess, memory of Liverpool Football Club growing up? I mean, as a kid on Merseyside, what sticks out in your mind when you think about that as a young little kid growing up?
Good question. I think, obviously, Liverpool would have been everywhere around me all the time. I'm pretty sure even as a little kid, I had, a Liverpool bed set and all that sort of caper. And there would have been people in Liverpool kit around me all the time. But I think in 96, which is quite old, isn't it, when you think about it? As a first Liverpool memory, 96, well, I would have been 6. I got the away shirt with the green and white patches, the one. That was, I remember getting that shirt. That was my first shirt, and I absolutely loved it. Well, I don't think it was my first shirt, but it's the first shirt I can remember getting. So I'd have to say that.
It's a good kit, that one.
That's
good. And I guess then the other question is that, can you remember the first Liverpool match at Anfield you ever went to?
I do remember this. So, I remember it really vividly. It was Liverpool versus Celtic in the UEFA Cup. I think in the quarter-final, I think. 97, I think.
Yeah.
And I remember it for a couple of different reasons. And one of the memories is that we were walking. I think we got the train or got dropped off just outside Goodison. We walked through Stanley Park, me and my dad.
Yep.
And he got a stone in his shoe. And I remember him saying, "Oh, that stone in my shoe feels like a mountain." And I was like, "Oh," and it's just always remembered it. It's such a stupid thing. But then we got to the ground, and a couple of me dad's mates were Celtic fans, Scottish and Irish lads they were, and we stood outside the Cop, and I remember them, they were stood in a bit of a circle, and like everyone was just having the crack, and everyone was dead friendly, and just the whole thing. And I remember holding me ticket, and I remember holding it because it was cardboard then, and I remember holding it, you know, like really tight, like, and then we went in the game, and Steve McManaman missed a great chance.
That's right.
Anyway, we went back that night to me nan's house, me mum and dad's, me mum's mum and dad's, me nan and granddad, and we walked in, and I was buzzing just to have gone the game. It ended 0-0. And
That's right.
I was buzzing just to go the game, and me granddad went. He was sitting there. He went, "You'll go better games than that." And I was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Don't take the shine off it for me, granddad." And then he said, "That McManaman chance, that was harder to miss that." And I was like, yeah, and that's something I say, you know, I still say it now. So that was the first time I went to Anfield.
Wow.
For a game, I think. So yeah, that was that.
That's brilliant. I think, was that the second leg or first leg? Because I remember the one over in Scotland was a 2-2 game where McManaman scored that brilliant solo goal, and we went through an away goals, if I remember right.
I thought we went. Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. We must have went through on away goals. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know we met Celtic again in Europe when Julio was in charge, but they knocked us out at Anfield. I remember Hartson, the Ranger, he scored.
Yeah,
I couldn't stand that guy. Anyway.
Oh really? I love John Hartson, man. Massive soft spot for him. Have you got any other questions?
Not at the moment. Actually, no. I had. Let me think. All right. So, I guess actually this would be a good one for you. It might be a bit tricky to kind of answer that. Do you feel, this might be a bit controversial, that I guess growing up in Liverpool, in that culture, you know, you're born into it, you love the club, you see it for real, what it is, you know, as close as you can get to it. Then you come so many years later to on the other side of the world, and you see that maybe not as, you know, identical, but it's replicated here in Australia. How is it? What are the differences for you? Without saying, obviously, you know, it's the real thing there, and this is kind of, you know, this is on the other side of the world. Do you feel there's a parallel between them? Do you you miss those days, or do you feel like this is amazing seeing how this is over here? I mean, that's probably not so much about your childhood. I'm just curious what, like, you know.
Yeah, man, that's a tough question to answer for a Scouser who's got a podcast in Australia. No, it is the honest answer, right? When I first got here, I didn't want to integrate with the Liverpool community here. I wasn't interested. I never really had any mates here who were Liverpool fans other than my family. And I thought that my honest feeling on it was that Liverpool Football Club is Liverpool and we're Scouse. And if you take us away, the football club dies.
Yeah.
Now, my opinion on it is still that Liverpool Football Club is built on those people in Liverpool. That's why the club is what it is today. And that's why we've still got one of the best atmospheres and the best fan bases in the world. But Australian fans, I was amazed. Like, you know, when I started looking to do the podcast and stuff, started meeting people like you, people like Max. Obsessed. Absolutely obsessed with the Reds. Like, encyclopedic knowledge about the team, the club, the history. And like, that mindset quickly changed for me. Massively. It completely changed. My opinion on it is completely changed. It doesn't matter where you're born as long as you're the same as me. You're just a Red. I honestly couldn't care less about where you're from. it's a different thing, because when you're in the city, everything you touch every single day is football.
Yep.
You know, you speak to people, whatever, you go on a date with a girl and you find out she's got a season ticket in the Gladys Street of Goodison, and you go, that's tough. You know what I mean? And
See ya.
these are like genuine things that, like, you know, people steer away from people for. Like, it's crazy, but so it is different here because there's not that swell of fans.
Yeah.
You know, like, you get Chelsea fans, United fans, Liverpool fans, whatever.
Yep.
But, like, you know, I was in Cheers Bar the other week and we watched the derby and it was bouncing. It was absolutely bouncing in there. And the culture of the fan base somehow, and I don't know how this has happened, but the fans here are the same there.
Yeah.
Like, we're built on pride. We're built on resistance of other clubs. We're built on, like, respect for our players, giving our players time. Like, look at everything that happened with the Jota situation. Like, our fans here are just as emotive as the fans there. So
There, yeah. Yep.
but, you know, at the same time, I will always say, like, the football club always need to remember, you know, how their bread is buttered.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's built on the shoulders of people like me dad and me granddad and me mother, who for years and years went and built the culture of the football club. So, all right, wait, thanks for those questions. I hope people
That's good.
found
That was-
it interesting.
That's good. That last one was obviously a tough question, and I thought you answered that really, really well. So good answers. Thanks, Tom. And there'll be more of them. There'll be more of those questions.
Good. Bring them in.
Get a bit more personal.
Right, let's talk about the Brentford game, mate. Liverpool would have bounced back against Frankfurt in the Champions League in midweek when we play Brentford. It's a tough game, Brentford, and a team I've always liked. And there's definitely a couple of old faces in that Brentford team, mate, isn't there?
Yeah, it literally is like an almost mini, you know, Liverpool derby. We've got, you know, Kelleher, we've got Henderson. There's what's his name, Fabio Carvalho, and there's another player who I've completely forgotten. I know there's one more. There's one more player. Who is it? Anyway, it'll come to me. I've just completely forgotten. But they're a good team, and to be honest, of all the teams, I wish it wasn't them that we're going away to, because I've always said it's Bournemouth or Brentford. You know, both of them, they're both really hard away games. So we're going to have a work cut out for us. And also, you know, we've got to remember that I know they're playing West Ham tonight, if I'm correct, but we've got an away game in Europe, and then we're going to get home, and how much training we're going to have, or rest even, and then we're away to them. So it's a tough kind of ask, but that's the kind of the state of the Premier League. I'm trying to remember, are we playing Saturday or Sunday? I can't remember now.
I thought it was Saturday night.
All right, okay. And when we're playing Frankfurt on Wednesday, right?
Thursday.
Oh, Thursday, or our Thursday morning. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so quick turnaround. So I'll, well, as we said, depending which squad Slot puts out in Europe, then it'll be even more interesting to see who he starts against Brentford. And, you know, we saw it so many times, especially under Rafa as well, those European hangovers where we would have a blinder in Europe against some of the big teams or some of these, you know, fancy teams away from home. Come home against, you know, some of the, I guess, what you call more mid to lower table sides and basically, you know, draw or lose those games. So I think it'll be tough. Very, very tough. Winnable, but if you ask me if we get a point out of it, I don't think it's a complete disaster because Brentford have been pretty decent at home. So they beat the team that beat us last night quite convincingly. So, yeah. But it's an interesting, you know, coming against, I guess, especially, you know, not fringe players for us like Kelleher and, you know, and Henderson are quite storied and quite pivotal in a lot of our recent successes. So, and I'll be, a penny for their thoughts about what it's like to face up against us. I mean, Kelleher, of all people, probably maybe have a point to prove. I don't think, obviously, he felt he wasn't, hard done by it at Liverpool, because obviously anyone's always going to be second to Alisson. But he's obviously now doing very, very well there. And I reckon he's probably going to have a blinder against us. God, I hope we don't get a penalty against them. That's all I'll say. Because I don't think we're scoring it. And, Henderson, he's actually like fine wine at the moment. He's doing, he's showing he can still do it. And I think he's very much probably in Tuchel's plans for, England for the World Cup as well. So, very, very, very tough game. So it's really hard to kind of say what state we're going to be in. So hopefully we have a really, can come off a good performance in Europe and build on that. But that it's a tough one. It's a real tough one. I would love just a nice, softer side at home. But, that's the way the fixtures go, so to speak. So, don't know really much more I guess I can say in that one, but I'll be honest in saying it's one of those fixtures that I worry about when I see those kinds of names, especially in the form that we're in at the moment. It's always those teams that seem, that can just, shock us. Lots of scars there.
It'll be interesting to see how Slot sort of plays the game. It was against Manchester United, and most times under Arne Slot, it's a really controlled performance, no matter the result. I thought against Manchester United, there was a little bit more of an open sort of setup. And I think against Brentford, we need to gain that control back, because if we play end-to-end against them, they've got that lad Thiago up front who they signed last season, but he got a really bad injury at the start of the season, and then Visser was playing really well, so we never got a sniff Thiago, but he's definitely a threat. But I think I keep saying it week after week, but Liverpool have to control the midfield battle, and I think if Liverpool are going to win their away at Brentford, then the centre backs need a cracker of a game. Yes. Kanate needs to have a good game, and so does Virgil van Dijk. I'm going to go with 2-0 Liverpool. I think that we're going to go and do a job, actually. What are you going to go for?
3-2 our way. Just like you said, I think that the battle in the middle really needs to be won, and I know it's a lot to ask for, but I've been very critical of Arnie, and a lot of other people have too, that there's just the system that he's been deploying, and I get he's trying to do something new, just hasn't been working. And I think you see the big gaps between defense and midfield, and even with Grav playing, a lot of the balls being moved around between Kanate and Virgil, not necessarily between Szoboszlai, McAllister, or or Gravenberch, so to speak. So we need a big game from our midfield, definitely. But a lot can happen in a week in football. Fortunes can change. And one thing actually I wanted to say, and it probably covers pretty much every game that we've played this season, if we think about it, that performance-wise, I think most of them have been on par as far as good patches, bad patches. We got a bit of luck in those first few games where probably, teams weren't finishing us when they should have, and then we'd get the goal. And now it just happens that the other way around with us. So, we had 2 late winners go against us. Actually, no, that's 3 now, really, if we think about it. So, as I said, I think those performances have been kind of even. So, like you said, what we need to do now is just get that control back. And not concede, early or silly goals. Sometimes you can't help but concede in the Premier League because there's a lot of quality out there. But hopefully, we can keep that I guess, control in midfield and, I'd like to see, Florian Wirtz get off the mark and Isak as well. And by the way, I thought Wirtz was actually really good off the bench against the Manx. And he's starting to show that quality there. And I think he's been a little bit hard done by some of the critics because it's not just all on his shoulders for some of our failings. But, yeah, I'm going 3-2. Don't ask me who the scorers are. Young Rio hat-trick there. No, just kidding. Just kidding. I think we can win it, but I think it's going to be it's going to be one of those post-European games where I think it might be not as controlled as what we like, but I think there should be hopefully enough quality in us to finish them off.
Yeah, I mean, look, I get what you're saying about the 3-2. I think Brentford are going to be a threat. And I've definitely got fears over that, but I just feel it's just about time that we have a real professional performance. We go and get a goal. They'll chase the game. We'll kill the game. We're really, really, really overdue one. Right, that's all we've got time for then this week. Thanks so much to everyone for coming back and listening. Last reminder that we do have a Jamie Carragher Jamie Carragher shirt away give. Jamie Carragher shirt giveaway coming up. So don't miss out on that. Keep your eyes peeled on social media for that one. Yep. We have a trifecta of fantastic guests coming on in November, and I'm waiting to find out if we're going to confirm to make it 4, but I don't know yet. But we've definitely got three crackers.
I don't even know who the fourth one is.
No, I'll have to key you in on that one.
The other three are amazing, though. The other three are amazing, and you're all in for a treat.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting month in November for sure. We are now on TikTok. We are on Twitter. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. Join in the conversation. We try to read your messages out. When you send us messages, we have a look at it and see how the content's going to lie. But we try and read your messages out every week. So keep sending them in, and we'll keep looking to share that with our community as well.
One quick little plug. Got an email a couple of weeks ago from a James Clark. He had a bet with his mate. Remember that question about the bet was how many times have Liverpool toured Australia? So James, if you're listening, I said we would do this on the podcast. The answer is 3 times. They came in 2013, 2015, and 2017. But if you want to get a little bit more relaxed, they did have the Legends Tour in 2016. So I'll leave it between you and your mate to sort out who's right.
So there you go, James. There is almost a definitive answer for you and your mate. Reds all over the world. Thank you so much for coming back with us this week. I know it's not been an easy week, but no matter a win, draw or a loss, we'll still be there to support the Reds. Wayne, thanks very much, mate. Up the Reds.
Up the Reds, mate. Thanks, Tom.
We are the Reds down under, and this is our podcast.